Ready?
Yeah, let's go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is your man Anthony Smith, and I'm sitting here with my guy.
Yo, P in the building.
And this is Chop It Up, your weekly dose of the photo and the video. And this week, man, we always improving and doing new shit. We're gonna give y'all another gig talk. P went down to an actual studio, and we're just gonna run y'all down on how the studio shit went, how it worked out. Some of the ins and outs of some of the stuff that was done correctly, some of the stuff that could have been done a little better. Just gig talk. The first time being somewhere,
right?
How that shit go, P?
I mean, it was dope. It was dope. It was first time that we utilized the app to rent out studio space and kind of walk into an environment that it's just like anything else. Like when you see it on a brochure, it looks perfect.
Yes.
When we walked in there, it was like,
this ain't what the photos look like.
Right. Well, it looked like what the photos look like. And, being like behind the camera, you already know what it is. You already know they go in there and they shoot it at the best time of the day.
Yeah,
and, they got to sell you.
IG bitches, you know what I mean?
Right.
They even do it with studio spaces.
Right.
So y'all IG models don't even think y'all just the only ones that's looking bad. And listen, we went out to Tennessee, homie, and they had like this little monument. This is off topic, but on topic. Homie, there was these two chicks. There was three girls there, but there was two. And they were trying to take a photo in front of like this little wall, right?
Right.
We was there for 45 minutes.
What the fuck?
No, we wasn't waiting, but we were in that little area for 45 minutes. We literally ducked in. Me and my girl got our shot. Pushed, right?
Right.
When we got ready to leave, after eating 45 minutes later, we had to walk through the same area.
Right.
They still there trying to get the pose, right?
Oh, Lord.
I was like, yeah, this.
Because they saw a picture and they were like, we got to recreate it and we can't get it.
It ain't that serious.
We can't get it.
Oh, my smile. Oh, I was like, oh, no, Lord Jesus, this is not what it has come to. But I guess with those studio spaces, you got to make them look the best so you can rent them out. But hopefully they didn't take 3 hours to get them 3 pictures up that they had.
Nah, man, we ran it up. So we had the studio from 11 to 5.
So when you say studio space, explain what they're looking at. Give me a visualization of what I'm seeing.
It's an empty room.
Just a straight empty box.
You're looking. You look for a vibe. You go on the app. You can find everything. But the thing that's crazy is like you see stuff in the picture and you're like, well, can I get that? He's like, yeah, $30 more. Oh, what about those lights that I saw? Oh yeah, you can rent those for $50 more.
Oh, everything was an upsell.
So you're literally just getting the space.
Right.
That's where it comes into handy of owning your own equipment.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you can cut costs. And the way that I look at stuff is if you're gonna keep using certain staple stuff all the time, no matter what,
you need to buy it.
Just buy the shit.
Or you
just invest and just buy it. Like
borrowing the shit from your homie, nigga.
Right.
Go pick it up. If you gotta borrow it every weekend, you need to own your own.
You can ask Ant. I'm the king of borrowing it till I get my own.
Yeah.
Like it's and it if whatever I got, he's gonna do the same thing. Like it is what it is.
But it's not to the point of me never feeling like me not wanting you to borrow anything, but me also knowing like we came up in this shit together, and it only makes sense for us to buy different things because it's doubling. Well, not really doubling, but it's. Our catalog of what we have expands way faster when you don't go get an 1835 and then next week I go get an 1835.
Right, that made no sense.
You know what I mean? Like, go grab something that we don't have so we can, back and forth borrow from each other. But eventually we're at a point now where it's like we both kind of using the same stuff. So now we've worked our gear up to where there's a lot of lenses that we do have that we both realize like, hey, I really like this. You know what I mean? I don't even want to do a gig without it. I don't want to borrow it. I don't want to do a gig without it. So I don't even want to wait for the time to come when when I don't have it. So filling out a studio space, but that's a big ass space. So
it was.
He always talking about me having a lot of gear. So shots fired. You know what I mean? This nigga just blew out a whole studio spot, and somebody got some gear. Wasn't nothing borrowed last weekend.
I got a little bit more gear now.
Yeah, we loading up dollies and shit. You know what I mean?
But no, there was just some just some simple principles, man. Like if you know, as why is, you know, if you guys, even if it's the most basic knowledge, just go back and just review things. Cause there was a look that we necessarily didn't need it, but I was thinking in my head, like, what if I wanted to fill her all the way in? I didn't bring anything to bounce light off of.
Right.
And you know, we still made it work.
Yeah.
You know, we still got it done. We still created a look, but you know, thank God there were ceiling lights.
Okay.
But what if they didn't work?
Yeah. Or what if there was the wrong color temperature?
Right. You know, I mean, there's stuff you can do on post and all that. And, you know, you can adjust it, but you know, you don't want to deal with the headaches. There was an issue that we ran into. I don't know how the hell the building was wired, how many frequencies was going on. You got to mind you, we were in LA. Old ass building. You don't know what the hell's in the building.
Yeah,
what
the building was prior to.
Right. What's next door. And I don't know if you guys ever run into this. You know, there's some frequencies that you can't make disappear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, good thing we had the bag brought. You know, I always overpack when I go to gigs because you just never know what the hell to expect.
Especially when you're going that far. You know what I mean? LA from us is 2.5 hours. You know, 2 hours you can make it down there. Hour and 45 minutes.
Depends on what time of the day.
On a good day, right. But on a bad day, it's a 4-hour drive. You know what I mean? You go down there on a Friday mid-afternoon, hitting traffic all the way down there. So you got to make sure that you're prepared, man. You're prepared. You pack what you need. And then also, whoever you're working with, have that checklist, you know what I mean, of things that you may need that you may not necessarily own or that you want to double down on. Because sometimes you might have a Rode Wireless Go, but you forgot to charge it.
Right. Shit, that didn't happen to me before.
You know what I mean?
Or it might, or you ever left your shit on?
Yes.
You pop it up and the light's on, you're like, oh fuck.
I thought it had an autosave mode. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes you're so tired at the end of the gig that you just
forget.
Throw your shit in the bag. It's time to wrap it up and time to get out of here. So you just throw it in the bag, go to get up out of there, and next time you go to pull it out, oh damn. Right. Battery dead, you know? But you gotta check all your gear. You want to make sure you update it. We don't want over that. Right. But the studio space, besides the frequencies, what was was that the most difficult thing that you guys had to deal with?
Literally, you know, it really was. You know, I think you know, overall this time, like going in there, I could tell you one thing, like from my perspective on them, me being very comfortable made them comfortable. Okay. Like they didn't even know that we had mic issues going on. Right. Like the client, she didn't know. Yeah. I'm like, oh, just go fix your hair, and she came back. I'm like, okay, I gotta lap you up. Yeah. You know, we were able to hide it. Right. And I was crazy too. You know, even you know, you gotta even have practice on how to mic people up. She had on silk. Yeah. Like a silk top with you know how
slippery.
You know how they just cover the nips up and you know they you know, so you gotta learn I learned how to, you know,
and you
put that mic, you can't even see it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we put it to where like she was moving around. There was no ruffle, nothing. Like that's stuff that, you know, all these times that we just sit here and we just practice stuff. Like just you never know when that kind of stuff is going to come clutch. Do it for the sake of doing it. Right. You just never know when you're going to be put in a situation like that. And I just remember micing somebody up a long time ago and I'm like, man, this dude got on a silk shirt. He gonna be all over the place, and you know, you just learn how to, you know.
Silk is ugly, and especially because it's the material that it is. You know, if you don't have the right, I use these little sticky joints. Yeah, they're like these little double-sided sticky tape, basically, and they'll stick to just about anything besides silk, bruh.
But then you gotta think about too with silk. You know, silk naturally you're gonna sweat. Yes. So even with that, so you know, we got there, we did the interview portion first because I'm like, I got to get her while she's best. This is the meat. You know, this is the meat of the video is the interview portion. And we had to cut the fans. So we already had.
And it's summertime.
Right. Ooh. And it was an old school building. You know, it's LA. Everything's old school in LA. Yeah. You know, unless you in, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get there one day. But like most of the time, like, you know, LA, the city's cultured, you know, the buildings are vintage and it just is what it is. So you got that old school.
But that's why you were there. You needed that vintage look.
That's what we wanted to get. And, you know, so outside of that, man, it was really, thank God it was a smooth shoot. You know, it was one of those things like, you know, the last time that we hired folks like they weren't ready. She was ready.
Yeah.
Like we gave her the questions. It was like
boom, boom, boom. Let's go.
Like just running. So that was cool, man. The benefit ahead of all that, this was the first time with me meeting with that team. We had conversations prior to. Mm-hmm. So we knew exactly what we had a vision already mapped out. We had a shot list, for the most part mapped out.
Yeah.
And we vibed off top. We spent, word of advice I would say, if you guys are putting yourself into an environment where you're meeting people for the first time, you don't know what they are, use your setup time to kind of get acquainted to each other. So, while you're setting your gear up and everything, set the mood. Get the little speaker, ask them what they like to listen to, and that's where you can kind of get to know them.
Right.
And then
so
once
everybody's not all stiff because nobody wants to, that stiff don't look good on camera. And you see it all the time, especially because 90% of the people that you put on the other side of a lens has never been in that position.
Right. A lot of people have not experienced, they freeze up.
It's even guys that are directors that are normally behind the camera that there's times that they got to get in front of the camera and they're not ready. You know what I mean? It's a whole different vibe. So you got to make sure that they're ready, and getting them comfortable is a part of that. You know what I mean? Me, I like to eat. Have some food out there. Have some little treats. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to stay aware of people's time because, like P said, he went out there and traveled 2.5 hours. You never know if that was the only thing that he had booked or if he had something else booked. And the same thing goes for the talent. You don't know what she has going with the rest of her day, so you don't want to be in there wasting time bullshitting. So you got to put the time that you do have to good use, and that's. Setup time is always going to be there. Sometimes the talent ain't even going to be there when you setting up. They're going to show up and just pop in. You get on some real shit, they showing up and everything's ready to go because their time is that important.
Right.
They don't have time to sit around. You know what I mean? So in that case, you're dealing with somebody who may be a little bit more professional, but you still got to know when to stick them jabs in, when to say whatever you got to say to get across, to get the feeling that you're going for. Because as many hats as you put on, the directorial hat is one of the most important because you have it in your head, but you have to convey that over to the talent of what they need to do so you can get that out of them. Because maybe you guys did sit down and talk and had all these conversations, but lights, camera, action, and now you looking like, no, that ain't gonna work.
Right.
Yeah. And
you got to tell them, we got to remind them shoulders up, chest
up,
chin up. Don't do this because you go
all that double chin action. You know what I mean? All that ugly. You're going to be asking me to fix all that. No.
Right. I can't do that.
No, not happening.
It's there.
If you
gobble.
See a problem, do not be afraid to stop, retake, 100%. Do it again. You know what I mean? Because if you see it and don't say nothing, you asking for trouble.
Right.
You are asking for trouble. You know what I mean? Because everybody feels like everything can be fixed in the editing bay later on. That's pictures, that's video. People don't understand what you got to go through as an editor, as a director, whatever your job may consist of, they don't know it. So it's up to you to spot those things.
Right. And it's not even that you don't even got to broadcast. You don't got to put them on blast like that. Like, you don't even know what I got to do when I get home. No, man. Just reset the situation. Like, hey, can we go through that? Can we run through it one more time?
Perfect example was when P was talking about the sound. They didn't know what P was listening to in the headphones. He knew. He was like, God damn, what is this little sound?
Right, I'm hearing it. I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to fix that in post.
Exactly. So that was a perfect example of a time that he stopped, reset, went and grabbed the equipment that he needed, and did the best that he could for the situation, which turned out exactly what he needed to do. So you got to be able to, stick your foot in your mouth sometimes, but the right way. Don't, shit, I'm fucked up. You know what I mean? They don't need to know all that.
They ain't gonna, and they don't care.
They're not gonna question you. You're the professional.
Be real, like, hey, man, I'm just trying to make sure we get this the best way that we can.
And
that's
everybody is there
right.
for the same reason. Nobody's there to sabotage the other person. Everybody's name is connected to this, and everybody wants this project to show up and be the best that it can be. So they're gonna do whatever they can to help as well. And
that's a big thing too, man. If you're teaming up with folks, like even if you're going underneath their umbrella, understand that you're still representing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like don't like trash nobody's shit just because it's not in your name. Like it don't matter if you're gonna get credits on the end of it or not. Like at the end of the day, like to me, just karma's gonna catch up with you. If you half-ass something, it's gonna come back to you. Man. I really feel like that bad juju's gonna come back and creep up on you. Like
for sure, the juju is gonna come back.
So you want to half quality them because it ain't you. Okay, gotcha.
But the other thing is, as big as you feel like this community is, it's still pretty small.
Hell
People talk.
Man.
You know what I mean? And your name just got to get out there in one bad circle because you did something purposely that you know that you shouldn't have done. And here comes that juju way faster. So not only are you now losing money because of you not being booked by somebody who potentially could have booked you because of you sabotaging a previous event, gig, or whatever the situation may be, it's just not good. You're hired to do a job. Do that job, no matter if you own your own production company or if you're hired on to help out. Do your thing. You know what I mean? They chose you for a reason, and they chose you because they like what they saw, and they wanted to add that production value to whatever event whatever they had going on. They felt like you were something that they needed. So give them all of that. You know what I mean? Get in there and do your thing.
Right. I was chopping it up with TJ, and he was saying, collaboration over competition. Yeah. Like that is so strong. Like, it was really cool to jump on a set with folks that I've never met, first time meeting them in person, and they were shooting on cameras that I've never shot on.
Okay.
Which was it was dope. It was dope. His wife was taking care of the pictures, and they roll with their Canon gang. Okay. So I mean, I knew the color science and all of that, but it was just cool to see how another team gets down, the angles and where they place their flash.
And then another thing is those husband and wife combos are sometimes beast mode, bro.
Oh man, they were going in.
Beast mode. It's like they don't even talk. Like they got that little mental telepathy, and they just boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? It's like they with each other all the time, so they know the ins and outs of, But then you also got to look out for them silent arguments. I've been seeing that too.
You see that?
Yeah.
You're like, all right, I'm going to go bathroom. I'm going to bathroom real quick.
You got to know when to cut out of them silent arguments. You know what I mean? When you feel the tension in the air, but ain't no words being said, brother, you got to go take a pee-pee. I'm out of here.
You need me to go get something?
Yeah.
Y'all need something from the
water,
store?
some ice? I'll be right back. Yeah, y'all work this out real quick. Get that tension out the air. You know what I mean? But you gotta stay professional no matter what situation you put in, because you are a professional. There's nobody that's gonna hand you. You don't work for Walmart. They're not gonna give you a little employee of the month. You're not gonna get a little promotion, and now you feel like you're a little bad, say, assistant manager.
You either did your job or you didn't. Period.
You're not gonna get a director badge.
Right. None of that.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna get a editorial badge. I'm the best editor. It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
So you are already that. Once you put it out there that this is what you do, guess what? You're a professional.
Period. That's how people look at it. They look at it just like that. If they come to you for this and you say you do this,
yes,
cool. You do this. I like what I've seen from you. Do what you did over there.
On that other shit, I need that right here.
Right here.
Right now. Yeah. So just hold yourself to those values. And that was one thing that I felt like always kind of held me back a little bit, was waiting for that stamp. You know what I mean? And they ain't never going to come. You know what I mean? And the bigger people from all the way up from Spielberg and all the way down to somebody who's just starting, you ain't never going to get no directorial nothing. You know what I mean? Like, Steven Spielberg has gotten Academy Awards and all kinds of other shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's on a whole nother level. But at the same time, he don't have no golden badge that says director this. You know what I mean?
He's still got critics that give him bad reviews. And, he's one of the best ever.
Yes. So you just gotta do your thing. But back to the gig talk and the situation. So working with the talent, what was the actual? Were you nervous about shooting something that you hadn't shot before, or were you nervous about?
Always.
Yeah.
I always let my nerves fuel me forward. Mm-hmm. And I always say that if you're not at a position where you don't get nervous at all, you need to check your ego.
Yeah.
Because shit can go foul quick.
Real fucking quick.
Right. And you better know what the hell to do to get up out of there, man. Because you can't go into any situation overconfident. You can go in there like, I know this is gonna happen, but you still got to know, like, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
You know,
anything is a possibility for sure, especially when you're working with technology and some of the equipment that we use. Anything could fail,
right?
Light could go out, and now that was your key light that you were using to
right.
light your subject. We got a lot of shit, my nigga, but we not running around with 2 key lights.
We ain't got doubles.
You know what I mean? We're not running around. But stuff goes wrong, and right. You got to be able to account for those situations when they come up, and already have something in your head. Like, you just scan in the room. Okay, if this light goes out, what's my next best thing? Let's get her as close to this window while this light is still good coming out of this window.
Right.
And let's just run it, natural light while we got the natural light. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everybody's going to be understanding and everybody's going to know what's going on. But you got to be prepared for, Got to. And
that's why you got to just throw yourself to the fire sometimes, man. To me, those are the funnest ones. Like, I love a run and gun, unknown type situation.
Right.
I love it because it's gonna, it's gonna punk me.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, it's gonna punk me right in the face. Like, hey, bro, what's up? What's up? You know what to do?
What's up, bruh?
You know?
You're going to fall back on your guns.
Right.
You're going to sit on your ass and, start Googling. I haven't got to that point. I haven't really had to. I do so much YouTube and Google shit prior to. Homie, I don't think I've ever had that happen at a gig. Like,
where you got to look up something? You got to look up something on the spot?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm sure it has happened.
I usually handle that on my way to the gig.
Yeah, but there's
usually
like
by the
these
time
weird.
The gig starts, I'm good.
I'm thinking like, what happened? It has happened once or twice before, and I'm trying to think. DJing for sure.
I'm like, how do I run this?
Yeah.
This wire went short. How do I run this into this and make this?
Yeah, why ain't the sub working right now and everything's hooked up? So many times of that, you know what I mean? And chasing down wires and just getting frustrating. Yeah, no. And I would disconnect everything and start over from the top.
Hey, y'all you had to see this man's wire bag.
Man, it was serious.
It was ridiculous.
It was serious.
It didn't make no damn sense.
Flip it out and just dump everything on the floor.
A ball of yarn.
Like, how do you understand what any of this is? What, like, Ant, like, are you serious right now, bro? Like, look at this. I'm like, yeah, I won't go over there. This one go over here. And it's just, the same thing that you do with this film. You just know your shit. You know what I mean? I said that my wire bag, was like a kid with a messy room.
Bruh, it's horrible.
You could go in that room and it looks terrible.
Horrible,
but he know where everything's at.
I'm telling you, that shit was horrible. That bag. I just put it out there. I'll plug it in when you get it. I don't know where nothing's at in this shit.
I'm not organizing this shit. I get up out of here at like 2:30 in the morning, bruh. Throw it in the bag. Just make sure it makes it in the bag. That was the most important.
No bullshit, y'all. Ant used to, the gig would be over, he would just unplug everything and literally ball that shit up
and throw it in the bag. You goddamn right. Do you think this is? I'm about to sit here and meticulously wrap these things? No.
The next gig, open the bag, dump it all out.
Let's go.
Oh man, but what I will say about, the studio situation, I kind of, have gotten to the space, I've been blessed to always get like really cool locations with clients. Like, they already got it on lock. I'm at a position where I want to create my own damn looks now. Mm-hmm. That's kind of going to be the way that I'm going to explore it, is really, cause I'm pretty sure they're all kind of like Airbnbs. You're gonna stay at one good place. You're gonna stay at one dude that you walked in, there was shit on totally. But it's still cool for the visual experience, and I just feel like the clientele deserves to be put in situations like that. You know what I mean?
And I also feel like it helps you look that much more of a professional, that much more of a business owner when you have every spectrum covered. You know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, I'm working with a real professional. Like he's really tapping in to make sure this, and this is done. You know what I mean? Like, we're really going back and forth with location scouting, checking to make sure that the wardrobe is going to be correct for the situation. You know what I mean? Like, all ends are covered. All that's going to do is help you get rebooked.
Yep.
So it's a lot of those little things that matter. You know what I mean? There's a lot of the little email back and forth, the conversation back and forth. Somebody that's paying you, they hate to be on hold. You know what I mean? They hate to be waiting. They hate to feel like you're not being open with them. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to hire you. Some people do, though. But for the most part, communication is key.
Yep.
So keep that communication factor open, no matter if it's through text, email, conversation, FaceTime, whatever it is. Pick up the phone, conversate with these people, because at the end of the day, it's only going to make your job easier and the job smoother, and you get booked again, bro.
Right.
Period. You could have there's plenty of people that do way better work than me. But once it comes face to face, bro, you're not gonna outwork me. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm easy to work with.
You ain't got my personality.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So our camera just turned off on us. I mean, we was to the end of the episode anyway, but all right.
Our
camera just turned off.
Sony, so we done.
Sorry. We was on a roll. We was about to hit a tangent anyway.
Yeah. For sure. I'm your man, Anthony Smith.
Yo, P in the building.
And this is...
Look, button stuck and shit. One of them episodes. Fuck happened?
The fuck going on in here? Come on, Sony, don't do this to me. I love you.